Hello, everybody. Hello. Yep, Bob's here. He's already been bitching at me. You know how he is. Hi, Jenny Lynn. Hi, Kat. Grasshopper, wherever you are.
Thank you.
Mojo, hey. And I saw Frank stop and say hi. Like I said, and I saw Grasshopper a little bit ago, so I don't know if he's out on another stream right now or what, but I'm sure he'll be back. And that's it.
He's probably in the streets.
Hmm?
He's probably out in the streets.
He could be out wandering the streets. Cat messaged me, Pam, Bob is waiting for you. Oh, actually, we were talking and Bob listened to me rant for a few minutes. Now I'm done. See, Grasshopper's there. He says I'm here. So I hope everybody's doing good tonight. It is another Tuesday Takeover stream. I don't know when or if Blacky's going to be in. I'm sure he will be. Let me check real quick, see if he left any messages. I don't think so.
It's only a couple more weeks of these takeovers.
I know, and then he'll be doing his stream again, and he's got some surprises. He's going to be doing it different, so it'll be kind of fun. It'll be fun to watch, for sure. I think he's going to have Joel and Z being on and talking political stuff and everything. It'll be fun, though. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yep.
And I've got to show you guys this because it's just so totally. Let me see if I can get it fixed up here to show.
I decided to add Worm to my billing since she's always with me.
Oh, good.
Floyd's trying to get back in now. He's sitting up here on top of the chameleon thing. Yep. You're out, Floyd.
Okay, there, I got it. Yay. Hooray. I'll show everybody this. Hang on just a second. Let me get around it where I can do it. Just because it's just totally amazing. This is, which I told Bob about it a few minutes ago, but this is it's a short clip of a neighborhood in Missoula, Montana. And they had wind today. And what you're going to see is the tumbleweeds that blew up against the houses in this neighborhood. And it's like totally like, oh my God, type of thing. Look at that. That is tumbleweeds. Holy shit. What would you even do to start cleaning that up? Well, you can't even see their front of their house. My daughter says, well, they just about have to burn them, but man, that'd be hard to burn them because they go up so fast. They're like really dry and just like poof, and you'd have your whole house would be on fire.
Yeah, I would get it out of there somehow before somebody throws a cigarette in them.
Exactly, because that stuff is really dry. Really dry. It's like lighting a match. But how are you going to get it out of there? I mean, how would you even get it into garbage bags?
Well, if it's
also really prickly to try to pick it up, too.
A good leaf blower might blow it out. I don't know. It is very dangerous. That's it, Kat. That's very dangerous because one little spark and all those houses are going to be on fire. And it's also like really scratchy and prickly when you try to move it. I mean, it like snags on everything and scratches up your hands. And
I mean, it would be really hard to even get it into garbage bags. You'd be ripping the garbage bags up. Hi, Chew. But yeah, that's kind of gross. Kind of gross stuff. Yeah, fire would go through that really fast. Really fast. Because that stuff just goes poof and it's up.
I hope that's not the news about it tomorrow.
Oh, very cool, Luna. Hi, Trash Cat. Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I hope they figure out what to do with it. I mean, the only thing I could think of is if the city like sent out a dump truck for everybody to throw it in real quick or something like that. So I don't know. Do you have tumbleweed there in Tennessee?
No, we have weed. I've got Marihuchi blown up all against the side of my house. So many people growing it here.
Really? It just blows into your house?
No, Pam.
I was going to say that would be kind of awesome. I'd just go outside and start harvesting.
A lot of people do grow the Delta here for the government, though.
Yeah.
They do. People that own one of my aquarium shops a couple of years sold it to start doing that.
Yeah, I had a friend years ago that grew some Bob cashmere. He was pretty funny, but he had some nice plants out in his garden, and he got home from work and somebody had stolen them. And he was like, God damn it, what, I can't even call the police and say somebody stole it from me. What are you going to do? Because at that time it was not legal at all. And I had another friend that had a whole field of it way back in the hills away from all the roads and everything. And he had a bunch of different little sections of property, and he was selling one section and he was gone. So his mom took the people out to the wrong section and showed them the marijuana field, and they happened to be police officers. So he was in big trouble. But he went to court and he told the judge that it was for personal use. It was like 3 acres of it or something, He says, yeah, it's all for my personal use.
Jesus.
Which actually, knowing him, it could have been. But yeah. It used to be like a lot worse than it is now. Now it's legal or mostly legal every place, or, they still do get in trouble, but not as much.
Hey, Coro and Sarah and Craig.
They had, they were like, at that time, this was many years ago, they had planes like with infrared going over out in the country, because I guess it'll light up in infrared because it puts out more heat. And I knew one old farmer that had the police show up at his door with guns drawn and everything because he had flown over his field and thought that he was raising marijuana, and actually it was artichokes. So I guess they put out heat too. So yeah.
Hey, Sandy.
He was not very happy, but yeah. But we used to joke around because in between the town of the Dalles where I lived and Hood River, which is west of the Dalles, next big city west of the Dalles, but there's a little area there, a little town called Mosier. And Mosier in the 60s was a hippie commune. And when it broke up, most of the people just settled down in that area around Mosier. All these old hippies just like got land or houses or whatever and settled down around Mosier. So we always used to joke that if they ever flew one of those infrared planes over the top of Mosier, it'd look like a Christmas tree. Okay, sorry.
Sing Silent Night. Oh. Damn it. Oh, that made that gopher snake think it was going to eat.
Did it bite you?
Huh?
Did it bite you?
No, I didn't. I'm in the habitat next to there trying to pull it out a little, so I've got a platform to put my tripod in.
Oh, okay.
It saw me and it started doing that. It's like yummy, yummy, yummy. But I'm over here on this one. That snake's out too. Huh. Wow. I guess it is that time for snakes to start traveling. Apparently. The tripod won't sit straight. That's all right.
Girl, hello.
I'll sit here like
I just
this.
missed you. And Sandy, hello. Have you heard how the dog rescue place fared in the last storm yet, Sandy? Cat got new sneakers and a new bra.
$170 later.
Yeah. Important staples, yep. I had a friend send me a pair of winter boots. That's a gift. I got them yesterday. Oh my God, they are so pretty. They are so nice.
Are they
They
like
are.
house
They're
shoes?
They're elk hide. And they are really, really nice.
Can you get them on?
I haven't slipped them all the way on yet, but she got them wide, and they look like they're going to slip on, but like not yet today because my feet have been really bad for the last couple of days. So I haven't tried yet, but I know they're going to fit me. And they are so pretty and so soft. And then she sent me a pair of gloves too, like really super soft leather gloves that feel like super soft when you touch them.
Well, I may have to let you do that. Oh, there we go.
Sandy says the remaining part of the old building washed away, but thankfully the new building is 70% done and they were able to move all the dogs. Oh, that's good. That's good.
It is good.
Hey, Craig.
What does tear mean?
What does what mean?
TARE in relation to a scale, a weight scale.
I'm not positively sure.
Well, there's something to look up.
Yeah, because I should know, but I can't quite come up with it.
Let's see how many
It has
people.
something to do with the weight.
Yep, I just did it. Oh, I know what's wrong. I've got it plugged in. It's pulling the cords, pulling it.
Oh, it's the weight of the empty vehicle or container. Yep. So, like, if you weighed a truck, then you would deduct the share would be the weight of the truck, and then what's left would be the load.
Yeah, I'm going to weigh a couple of my snakes and try to write them down. But this is the little tray thing you put them in. I don't know how many snakes I can fit in that, or that'll stay in it. But when I put it on there, I put that on there, the little basket, and it weighed 100 grams. Now it's saying 1. Now it's saying 0. So it's 99. And I pushed the tear and it zeroed it. So it's still 0.
Yeah. I was gonna say if it has a tear button, it should zero it to where just the snake's weight will show up.
Yeah. My God, who was that?
That was a little shit.
That sounded like an old man, like a suitor or something.
I just moved my foot and she like growled at me.
Oh, wow. Dr. Black just about to jump up and lawnmower man arrives and starts mowing.
Can't you do a noise canceling thing for background noise?
Oh, yeah, he should be able to, I guess.
Yeah, because I do that through thunderstorms and fan and stuff, and it works good.
Maybe if he can hear us is the thing, though.
Yeah, that's true.
We may have to use sign language.
Blacky! uh, I've got my coffee sitting here, but it's cold. I should have put it on to reheat it.
I'm drinking juice. I was up again all night last night, so I'm through with coffee.
Well, I was like really tired all afternoon, so I decided to take a nap. And so I laid down to take a nap last night, and I slept for like 13 hours.
I wish I could. I wish I could. I'll be
Of course, I
right
didn't
back.
sleep through all of it. I kept waking up off and on, thinking I should get back up again, but I didn't.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Talk to Sam. Talk to Floyd. Floyd, Pam's on. Okay.
Say hi there, Floyd. Hi
Hello.
there.
Hello. Hi there. Hi there. Ooh.
So when I got up, I was hoping that my feet would be good, and they were good for about an hour, but then they promptly started just swelling up huge again. They're like really bad right now. And I've got everything. I want to get to the post office, but I got to get my feet smaller. I don't think noise cancel will cancel a mower a few meters from me. Maybe not. Maybe not. So what is everybody else doing tonight? I can't think of anything else exciting to show you after showing you the tumbleweed, but I had to show you the tumbleweed because you can't like just describe it and get the full effect of how bad it is. That's one of those holy crap things. I don't think I have anything else going on right now. Oh, good night. Good night. Good night, Sarah. Thank you for stopping by. And Grasshopper says he's working. So here I am, sitting here up here by myself. Oh, for heaven's sakes. The noise canceling doesn't work for a dumb dog either, huh? Don't bite the bed bugs yet. Do you guys want to see what the tumbleweed looks like again? I know there's a few new people in here, so I'll show it one more time. This is tumbleweed up in Montana today. after they had a lot of wind. That's just like holy shit worthy.
Dear God. Oh.
Just one match and all that would just go so fast and all those houses would be on fire in the front of them, I'm afraid. Oh, yeah, that was it. That's a lot of tumbleweed, huh? Yeah, that's just crazy. And I don't even know what you do about it. You work in a haunted strip club?
Uh,
Industrial size mulching vacuum cleaner required. No kidding. I don't even know what you do because you couldn't, like my daughter said the fastest way to get rid of it would be burning, but that stuff goes up like so fast that somebody would end up being stupid and burning their house down.
I'd say somebody will try to burn it before they can get it out there.
Yeah. Now, like a mulching truck that might do it, like one of those mulcher things, and people drop it in, like go real slow down the street and let people like drop the tumbleweed into it.
Checking to see what my blood sugar is. All right, worm. It's gonna hurt. Ow. Owie.
That doesn't look like fun, Bob.
Well, it's just a little prick. And then
Oh, that's awesome, Nona.
And it counts it down. How much is it? It's probably backwards.
203.
Is it? That's great. It's awesome.
Nona says her daughter saw 2 moose in her yard today.
Oh, wow.
They are strange critters. They're built strange and they're very large and they're very foul tempered. You kind of have to be careful, but I love them. They're really cool looking things. They're very big though. Very, very big. Saying bye. Oh, okay. So Sarah's saying bye first. So, okay. Good night, Sarah.
Good night, Sarah.
Trash Cat says a little hi, Bob. And Grasshopper says it's really high.
Oh no, my little cobra's stuck.
Uh-oh.
He sure is. Look at that. Did I tell you that I held him and forced a little pinky mouse in his mouth?
Oh, did you?
Yep.
That's good.
And he scarfed it down like he was hungry as a bitch Wolverine with 8 pups or whatever they have. I wonder what they call
is that him stuck in between the branches there?
Yeah.
How did he do that?
There. Well, if I know. You all right, Bubba? You okay? He didn't try to bite me when I fed him, so maybe he won't now. Oh, he said, don't kid yourself. I'm gonna feed him again in a couple of days.
Oh, he's moving. Okay.
Yeah, there he goes. He was getting pretty low. I mean, he wasn't acting like he felt well. I mean, I've had him 4 weeks, so. I looked at him real good to see if he had mites or anything, because, they won't eat if they get mites. He's getting over there on that heat pad. He said, damn it, that was cold over there. He gets up in those bushes because that light's really super hot and gets under that. Their setup's almost like a bearded dragon, hot and dry. There you can have the best of both worlds. I'm glad I saw that. It was real hard to get his mouth open. So I'm going to remember that if he ever bites me. I'm screwed. I pushed his little bottom jaw over to the side, and I didn't feel it like pop or anything, so I didn't think I'd hurt him, but I got the head of the little pinky in there, and I thought I better stop because I'm going to hurt him. And as soon as I put him down, he chowed down on that little pinky.
That's good.
Yep. So he wasn't unruly or anything. Of course, like I say, he was feeling kind of low. But I will stay on top of that now. You can take me down, Pam.
There's the worm.
Yep, that's why she's got billing on there. She's a good girl when she's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about feeding my new little rat snake, and I got last week or weekend before last. He's a big pet now. They'd been holding him, so I had him out today holding him. I did a TikTok on him. He was so funny. I was recording him, and I had to crop it down to 15 seconds, but he was sitting on my stomach, and he crawled over my hand and looked at the camera, and he saw himself, and he turned back and came back up in my lap. It was so cute. He said, there's a scary snake. They're supposed to have real good eyesight like an eagle or something, that particular snake. Just kind of scary. Sit up in the branches and watch for stuff on the ground.
I thought all snakes saw like an infrared type of in heat and stuff.
No, not all snakes have that. Infrared. Ball pythons do. I don't know what else does and doesn't, but they don't know.
I know, like rattlesnakes, that's how they see is they see the heat signature.
Yeah, you're right. But these guys go off of motion. And they say it's really hard to video them unless they are tame, like the one I got, the little one, because they see everything. You can't sneak up, or they're just too damn good. Ball pythons don't see that well. I mean, they see, but not that well. They've got the heat thingy. If they're born blind, they won't starve because they've got the heat thing. That's what they rely on. The infrared. Got a gamma lizard glove going on. She's sitting on his back. Yesterday she was running from him.
You haven't seen a moose yet, Trash Cat? Moosers are pretty big animals. It's surprising when you get up next to them exactly how big they are.
You saw that video of that moose chasing that bear all over like a marina thing. It was going to stomp it to death, and the bear ran too. It was scared.
Yeah, moose are mean. Moose are mean. I know one of the last years I lived up in Montana, some photographer was out getting photographs outside of Red Lodge, and
he was trying to photograph a bull moose, and it got him, and there was nothing left of him. I mean, moose will just like if they get you, they'll trample you to where every single bone in your body's broken.
That doesn't sound much fun.
No, and that's how this photographer died. He was just like every bone in his body was broken.
Can't you
And then
shoot
there
them?
was some gal a couple years ago in Yellowstone that saw a moose, and she went running down the trail after a moose and her calf. What an idiot. And the mother moose trampled her pretty good. She lived, but she was hurt pretty bad.
That'll teach
But that was totally, I mean, that was totally a stupid move on her part. She's like, oh, a moose, I'm going to get a photograph. She actually went charging down the trail after a mother moose.
People are just stupid. Come in, Milo. Where you been?
Yeah, because moose are actually the #1 killer of people in North America.
How could that be? We don't even have them over here.
Well, there's enough of them that they are the #1 killer of people in North America.
There's enough
And
idiots over there.
you'd think it'd be grizzly bears or something like that, but no, it's moose. Moose are the #1 killer. And then in Africa, the #1 killer of people is hippos,
I've heard
which is
that.
kind of basically the same thing because they also are totally vegetarians, but you don't piss them off because they will come after you.
I don't want anything to do with them. The man got one as a baby. He rescued it, and it ended up killing him when it got adult.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised because, like I say, they're the #1 killer of people in Africa. And there's a lot of things that'll kill you in Africa, but hippos are the #1 above crocodiles and everything. The #1 killer in America is ourselves. Yeah, that's without a doubt true. But the #1 animal killer of us is moose. What do you want, you darn little puppy, huh? What do you want? What do you want, huh?
I need to be making a habitat for that rat snake. Oh, God. You've seen the, like the Instagrams or the YouTube videos. My brother sent me a message. It's probably a joke. Where they act like they're seeing all these things. One was a couple of plane, and so it had like different, but they show like different scenes. They look this way, and it's like a baby crying, and it's not even on that plane, but they make it like all they see all these things.
Yeah.
They look the other way, but there's one where I feel like that. I felt like that just now when I was walking through my house. There were like 3 weird things, and I'm like, okay, so that's what y'all do.
Oh, I know that one guy that does it, that always does like pets and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they'll say he's babysitting animals, yeah, and then they'll show all these dogs and cats doing stupid things. Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. I'm not even going to tell you what the 3 things I saw were, and I'm like, this place is as messed up as those videos, and it's real stuff too. I had to go out and get my extra strength Tylenol out of the truck. Knee is killing me. Oh gosh. Oh, this does fit this. I didn't think I had an acrylic lid that would fit this 29 tall, but it fits it like a charm. That must be the same as a 20 long that I had that on. because that's the biggest I've used before. So that 29 tall is the same as a 20 long top. So that's what I'm going to put once I get that rat out of there, that's what's in there. And I'm going to clean that out real good and put that new little snake in there and get him moved in here. Oh, that'll give him plenty of room. Lots of room. Yep. I got to set him up somewhere high too. I hear Star whining. Or was that Princess?
No, I think it was Star. She wanted up in my lap a minute ago, and she barked at me and growled at me a minute ago, and you never know with her what she's going to be doing. Except by God, if I go to bed, she's in bed with me within 2 seconds.
She wants to stay
Curled up
warm.
against me. Yep.
She wants
Gets
to
underneath the blankets and curls up on my side.
This is that cage that I fell through that night. Who was that? Skipper and you, and was it somebody? And you had signed off. Yeah. And I leaned over to look at something and fell through that cage. Oh God. It ain't easy.
That sounds like something I'd do.
It was the chair's not that stable, but it's the only swivel chair I've got. You know, I've got that tall chair that pulls my pants off that I hardly ever sit in. I could bring that in here. I'll give that a try. I just might. Somebody said to use, I can't get that water deposits off of that tank, but somebody said use like one of those magic eraser things. I've got one. I just haven't ran across it. See if it works. Do you have something to auction, Pam?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I do have a couple little things, but I didn't get them ready before tonight. I should have, but I didn't get them ready, so I'll have to do it sometime this week because I've got a couple bills that I got to pay, or I won't have any heat and shit like that.
I talked to Cole tonight, and messaging my nephew, and I asked him how his chinchillas were doing, and he said, well, one of them was tame and one of them was kind of wild. And I asked him if he'd made a video, and he said no, just those pictures. And he said the one that was wild was the older one, and it got away, and it was real hard to catch. So I told him I'd bring him a little exercise pen, like for puppies or kittens.
Yeah.
He can get in that and sit down in it. I've got a couple of those at the Ark we don't use. They're in the basement. So I'll give him one of those and he said that way he could teach him to come to him. Chameleon's coming up there looking for crickets. I just gave him or her some water. She doesn't see any crickets, so I guess she'll drink. Tomorrow's cricket day. Oh.
Everybody's telling dad jokes.
I was going to go on that head of lettuce thing again today and get some more jokes, but I didn't. I forgot it.
There, I've got one. I'll throw it up here real quick. Just a smart dad joke.
I like that one about the bikes. I've heard it before, but I like it. Did you hear about that man that won the lottery and the same day somebody abducted his wife and asked for $1 million, and they actually cut off a piece of her ear and her ring finger and mailed them to him as proof. And he answered them back and said, "Send more proof."
Yeah.
That was one of that head of lettuce. I'd forgotten that one.
What else I got here?
Self-reflection.
Oh, here's one of my favorites. It's not exactly a dad joke, but I still like it.
Pop goes the weasel. For some reason, I got referred a bunch of Rodney Dangerfield jokes, and I watched all of them. He was pretty funny.
Yeah, I used to laugh at him sometimes.
And I
Sometimes he was
also,
just silly, but sometimes he was funny.
yeah, and I also got a bunch of, and actually watched an hour and a half performance of Joan Rivers. She didn't die till she was in her 80s, and she wouldn't have died then, but she had to have some kind of
Yeah,
surgery.
she had some kind of another kind of surgery. She had a lot of surgeries, plastic
Yeah,
surgery, and it killed her.
yeah, and she would make fun of herself for that.
They're just going to keep going on and on and on with all the jokes.
Yeah. Oh, trash can. All right, I'll be back again. I'm drinking this juice and it's making me run to the bathroom. Making me pee worm. I'm going to drink it all and I'll be done with it. Tylenol's starting to work, thank God.
Okay, guys. See if I got any more. I always save jokes, so when they're really bad, I save them to throw at Vic in the Discord.
I'll show you guys this real quick since we don't have much going on right now. I'll have to skip through a couple things here, but this, and I know I told you guys about this before, but this is a drawing that I did of the camel butter. And then his owner had that done. A tattoo with my drawing. Cool, huh? What kind of rooster will lay eggs, a Himalayan?
What did I miss?
Jokes. And Kuro says he doesn't trust camels because they have backwards knees and balloon tongues. And Grasshopper says he had the craziest dream last night. He dreamed he was a muffler and he woke up exhausted. Oh, there's Blacky. Maybe he'll have something exciting to tell us.
Hi,
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Black.
how are we?
Did you jump in to save us from all the dad jokes in the chat?
Yeah, they they come out pretty quick, don't they? It's like they've got a lot banked up, ready to go. It's pretty wild. Where are they? Oh, right.
Oh, Grasshopper, that's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the new puppers.
He's up there.
Oh. Can you blow them up, Pam?
Oh, probably.
Oh,
Oh, he's so cute.
he is cute. How old are they?
Hey.
How old is he?
Oh, 13 weeks, 14 weeks, 15-ish weeks. Come on, back here. Good boy. Yes, he is an absolute cutie.
What's his name?
Dash.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Like Dash Rip Rock.
Yeah, yes, Cat, he still does have puppy breath. He's been strapped to the exercise bike and he's eyeing off all the little finches on the grass. Good boy. Just sit, wait. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Trash Cat. Hey, Cat. Hey, Huawei. Mojo. Coro.
Hey,
And
Jenny,
all
I
of
didn't
the
know you came in.
joke specialists.
Why is it so quiet tonight? Nobody has anything to say.
I noticed that All Things Fish had a live stream going as well.
Okay.
That's Michael, isn't it?
Yes. No, he was sat there pretty patiently waiting.
I'll be back, Pam.
Is that a threat?
Yep. I need to have him on Tennessee Fish Mafia again. He always does great presentations.
So you're going over to the other live stream, Bob?
Well, I didn't say that. I just said I'll be back.
I know, but that's what it sounded like.
That's all right. I'll stay here.
It's okay.
I wouldn't do that, Pam. If I
I've
leave,
heard
you
that before too, Carl.
might get some talking if I leave, you know.
But then a lot of animals have same-sex relationships.
Right.
I remember years ago, one of the store I went into had this absolutely impressive trophy head of a doll sheep. I mean, its horns were indescribable. They were so big. And I was talking to the guy, and he said that the reason the sheep's horns were so big was because he was actually a eunuch. So all that energy went into making horns. Xavier's fish tanks, hello.
He was horny.
Right, hooray. G'day, Xavier. We've had a fairly substantial bushfire burning between Mullumbimby and Byron Bay.
Already?
Yes,
That's not good.
quite intense it's been. Slowly been travelling north. It has been cool and cloudy and a little bit of rain today, but not heaps. But hopefully it slows it down a bit at least.
We're out of fire season now, unless it's tumbleweed.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild accumulation.
Yeah, that was like definitely a holy shit thing.
I've been draining my 80. That's one reason I keep going back and forth. And I'm going to have to go in there and stand. I can't bend my knee this much. It's killing me. Watch out, pup.
Your knee?
Yeah, it's my right knee, the one that I need surgery on. I've got an appointment the 30th, I think it is, for an injection in it, but that's the 30th. Ew. I've got ice on it too.
Cortisone injection.
No, it's actually that comb stuff from a chicken. Forget what it's called. There's 2 generations of that, and I can get the 2nd generation of it because the first one doesn't work, or didn't work for me. It hurts, but it helps. I did have some steroid injections, but they didn't work. They didn't last.
Yeah, I've never had any success with steroids.
Yep. So that got me through the criteria to get that stuff. I forget what it's called, but it's from a chicken's comb. It comes out of that, or a rooster comb. It's a
Yeah.
gel.
Daniel, hello.
G'day, Dan. Yeah, I did. Last night, I finally got into the 5-foot tank here behind me and started trimming all of my pothos roots out because they were just filling the tank up. I found I've got a Anubias in there on a stick, and it's got a little puppy at the base of one of its stems.
Oh, cool.
So I might have to try and pull that off and propagate it. But I've not ever done that with Anubias. Yeah, I wouldn't have found it if the pothos roots weren't there, because one pothos root had gone right down through the Anubias. And when I was pulling it out, I lifted the whole Anubias log out of the substrate.
Oh, wow.
Showed me the little baby. Yeah, I don't know how many plant people we've got in here. If I'm better off to take the adult stem off and propagate from that and then leave the pup on the log, or whether I cut the puppy off, because the puppy's right at the bottom of the stem.
Or can you cut the log and leave them both on?
Yeah. How do you mean? Like cut through the Anubias and the wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Leave
Yeah,
them
that's
both attached.
Because there's two main stems of the Anubias, and the pup has grown on one of the stems. So that might not be a bad idea, actually. I might investigate that.
That'd be a good question for Mike, the plant guy.
Up to 5 days of consistent pain is excessive.
Well, 3 days is excessive. What about 365?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
I've had extreme swelling on my feet for like 3 days now. I'm hoping it will go down. It's got to go down, down, down. But it doesn't hurt, like sitting here or anything, but it's hard to walk when it's this swelled up. It's like, it's hard to get my feet to move. Eldridge, hello, how are you?
Tim, I'm
3
telling
bowls
you,
of homemade chili in a 24-hour period is excessive? Probably, yeah.
Probably depends on how spicy you made it, Eldritch.
I'm telling you, you could make it. There's a certain market, a freaky market, but a market for those feet, Pam. Start an only feet page.
Yeah, yuck. I know I told you guys about my worst chili that I ever made. It was when I first got married, and I had somebody had given me a crock pot for a wedding present and a crock pot cookbook. So I decided to do the chili in the crock pot, and I misread the recipe. I thought it said 2 cups of yellow chilies, when in fact it said 2 yellow chilies. And there's a huge difference between 2 cups of chilies and 2 chilies, believe me. 2 cups might have been a little bit excessive.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Rib cartilage injuries are pretty common in mosh pits, Corey. That's probably what you've done. And you might be getting referred pain around the back. Referred pain can be a little bit weird because it makes you think you're hurt in different spots to where the pain really is. Yeah, it's also very difficult in a mosh pit to monitor all of your impacts and whacks that you take.
I took in 2 new little dogs today at the Ark. They're 6 months old, and they're purebred Jack Russell Terriers. And the people paid $2,000 each for these dogs. Craziness. And the lady's grandfather, she was younger than me, but not a lot. But he's 89, and they live together, her and her husband and him. And he wanted a couple of puppies just to amuse him because he wanted to have some puppies again, you know. So they went to a breeder and got them over where Ed lives in that county, actually. And they're nice dogs. They're real pretty. They were almost white when she got them, but the colors are starting to come in now, and their tails are just docked about halfway, so they're cute. But they keep tripping him, you know, because they're Jack Russells at that.
Jack Russells are very high energy and not at all the thing to buy your grandfather.
Yeah, and she knows. Well, he bought them, you know, he had the money, but anyway, she does a lot of rescue and stuff. She said she knew me and that her mother came and adopted a Yorkie from us years ago, and its name was Anna or something, but I don't remember it unless it changed it. But anyway, so she knew me and knew of the Ark, but she was just begging me to take them, so I did. I'll send you a picture of them in their crate in a minute. But so she had already done everything too. They're neutered already, and they're 11 pounds and 13 pounds. So they're the little Jack Russells. They'll stay little, and they're 6 months, so they're full.
Yeah, I love them, but like if I was like in the market to find a dog, I wouldn't even consider one right now because I'm too old.
Well, you know,
They're very, very high energy dogs.
The manager at the vet's office, of course, I had her take them to the vet for me. I was alone again at the Ark, and I didn't want to leave. And they had thrown up in their crate, so I didn't get them out. But they called at 6:37. I was already home and said, it's too late now, but Dr. Bain wants to know if you can arrange for an early pickup on the little dogs. They're ready. And I said, well, yeah, what's wrong? And she said they have very shrill howls and barks. And he said he would have to sedate them in the morning if they're still doing that. You know, they said they could hear them all through the place. So I asked, knowing I wouldn't get my ass out there at no 8 o'clock, I messaged the group, and one of them said, well, she wanted to be at the Ark at 8 to clean the cat room, but she could be there at 8 and come on to the Ark. So that saved me. I have to go anyway at 2. Tomorrow's my day off, but I have to take a cat back anyway tomorrow for booster shots. But that wasn't soon enough.
I wonder if if that's a regular behaviour for them, or if they're just, you know, separation anxiety or something like that going on.
She said they were real good puppies, and they would jump up in your lap. And she said that she had not been taken. She gave some nice harnesses and leashes, their kennels, everything, their beds, toys, everything. But and she made $100 donation on each one of them. There was really no reason, but she threw that out there. So I mean, I could not take them. But she said they were really nice behaved, but she had not been walking them outside. She had been using those belts, you know, that they put around their abdomen, but she said they always try to pee on the pad anyway, and they didn't like the belts, and they like to go outside. And I'm like, well, that's a blessing, you know. So they're basically house brought. They just haven't been taking them out. And we keep pads down anyway, like with an orange cone on each pad, so the dogs learn to use those. It's easy to sanitary and all that. And their names are Willie and Billy.
Creative.
Good Southern names. I'd say the old man ain't named them probably.
G'day, Cragos.
Oh, this tank is taking forever to get halfway down.
Are you just siphoning or are you pumping water out?
I'm just siphoning it out right now. I was wondering why it was taking so long, and I traced the line a while ago and it was kinked, so now that it's unkinked, it's moving a little better. Maybe 10 more minutes. It's at least, I don't know, 2/5 down.
Many years ago, when you're talking about dogs having a dock tail, many years ago, I had a Australian Shepherd, Susie, and she had a dock tail. And my brother had married this gal that was like extremely gorgeous but dumb as a board.
Ow. Yeah.
And she was visiting with us one night, and she was watching Susie, and she said, "Why did you name your dog Susie?" And I said, "Well, we got her from a guy that raised cattle, and she got too tall to go underneath the fences, so he was giving her away. So that was the name she had." And she says, "Well, isn't it a boy dog? Why would you name a boy dog Susie?" I said, "No, it's a girl dog." And she says, "Oh," she says, "I thought they docked dogs' tails so they couldn't breed." Okay. Not exactly accurate, but we'll go with it. Oh.
What the heck? It's funny how these lids won't move when they're clipped on.
Your mom is 63 years old tomorrow. That's still fairly young. Bob's going to be 68 pretty soon. He's getting damned old.
Next month, November 30th.
Yeah, Bob's getting just damned old.
Yep. It's still, well, most days it's still better than the option, the alternative. So
Yeah, that's true.
days like this make me wonder, but hanging in there. Ow, it was hot. That's a lot of light. Let me see if this new little ball python will be held. Hey, Boba, come out here.
That is a bright light. Is that on one of your tanks?
It's a heat lamp off of
Oh,
the
okay.
snake. Just
That
trying to-
that snake is such a chunk.
Yeah, the last time I showed him, the light was real pale, so I was just trying to get some bright light on him to show how yeller he is. You've got your neck all in a S shape looking at me, but you're flicking your tongue, so that's good.
He is so chunky, Bob. He's so
Heavy.
thick.
I ought to take him in there and weigh him, except I don't want him with having mites in that one tank. I don't want him in that room. Being real careful. No evidence of those now, but still, I'm going to wait another week before these go in there. You're nice and warm. You must have been laying on the heat mat. He's got blue eyes. Cool.
Is there a certain word for that with snakes when they have blue eyes?
Blue eyes is the scientific term.
That's
Pretty sure
a
that is the scientific term.
They have those blue-eyed leucistics ball pythons, and I've got one of those, a female. And there's like 3 ways to make them genetically. I can't remember what mine is. She's got pretty blue eyes, but he does too. He weighs at least 500, if not 600 grams. He is chunky.
Huawei says, were you given a girth certificate when you got that snake? That's a good one, Huawei.
He was curled up like this when I saw him in the little tub thing they come in. And I thought, oh my God, if he's friendly, and the price on him too was right. That was my first question. Why is he not 100 more than what
Oh,
he
hey,
is?
George.
I was in the right place.
George must have heard all of you guys' dad jokes and his ears were burning, so he decided he'd better stop in here and put a stop to it.
Better get your pen out and copy some of those, George. They're not bad.
The transcript will be available after the stream.
Just print it out and read it. I think that's about as much of that light as I can take.
You'll end up getting a tan.
Well, it's actually hot 2 feet away from me. 2.5 feet. I just have to look at you in the dark, kiddo. Worm, don't do it. Might bite your ear, I don't know. Stay down. It's not used to all you cats and dogs. I thought I might do some painting or something tonight, but my knee was hurting too bad when we started.
Oh,
Couldn't sit still. I was going to look something up, but I forgot what it was. I said earlier.
Jenny asks how your new snakes are going, Bob.
I didn't hear you, Blacky.
Jenny says, how's your new snakes going?
Oh, good, Jenny. Doing good, thanks. Neither one of them have eaten yet. Oh, hi there. It's coming over here toward me. I actually sat here this morning and opened the lid on this, and he crawled over toward me, but then he went down in the empty 33-gallon down below. He did make the effort. He's going to be a big pet, I hope. She's got a really cool posting. She reset one of her snakes' habitat, and she's using it's not a bird house, it's like a gerbil house, like a gourd thing with a hole in the front, and it climbed up in there and it's sitting looking out. That's what I need to do for the rat snake. I've been watching for something that I can put in like that habitat. I'm going to set up in there for him, and he'll have like 3 feet to crawl up and climb around.
G'day, Vic.
Hey, Vic.
oh, there's Vic, the king of dad jokes, and he missed all of them. You missed about 15 minutes straight of everybody doing dad jokes in the chat.
Might add 15 minutes to it. I swear that's some old geezer dipping snuff sitting in there sneezing. That doesn't sound like Star.
It is her, and I'm not even sure what she's growling at. I think she's just growling at my foot. Because she can be kind of weird. She's so vicious, you know.
Yeah. Did she ever bite you when her leg was sore?
No, She'll growl at me once in a while when she thinks I'm moving my foot too much or something. Like that's what she's doing right now. But mostly she's just all bark. She did get in a fight with Mario one time, though, I know, because she was really sore for a couple days and didn't want me to pick her up or touch her. And she was, when I first noticed it, I went to bed that night and there was this like pulled out tuft of gray cat hair, like a big chunk of gray cat hair laying on the bed. And I'm going, yeah, I think that somebody got in a fight. Somebody's got in a fight, and the little shit ended up on the bad end of it. But then, you know, like say, she thinks she's so ferocious, and she weighs like 4.5 pounds, and Mario weighs 14 pounds. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
Mario's got those switchblades. You scissored her up. I'm trying to remember where the white-lipped python comes from. That's what I want next. It's a little step up from a blood python, but I'm ready, I think.
What is it?
It's called a white-lipped or a northern python.
I think I've seen a picture of that before, yeah.
They're very iridescent, and they do have like white traced around their mouths, so that's the name white-lipped. I think they got a light flashing somewhere 6 or 8 feet, something like that.
Yep, the Man of Steel. Okay, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure carpets are, but probably second only to ball pythons in bred in captivity for beautiful designs and whatnot.
Something about the carpets. I don't know. That's a lot of snake.
Hi, fishing outdoors.
G'day, Lando.
Hey, Lando. I haven't seen that lady. I can't remember her name. That she does like the behavioral stuff on them. She's got several, and she's got birds and stuff, and she's got one that she lets out that goes all around her place. Jesus. Lost my ice pack.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah. I thought it was a cough, but it was a sneeze. And that thud was my ice pack that fell off. He knows when he's going back. He does not like it either. Come on. Come on, you gotta be fast.
You have a blinking light behind you, Bob.
I said I had a light blinking. I don't know what it is. All right, you're back in there now. I had about decided it was one of those little lights in that chandelier thing up there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it could be because of the reflection it's hitting right there, where I see the blinking at.
Yeah. All right. The rat snake appears to be asleep. So I'll leave it alone.
That's your new colorful little guy, right? The rat snake?
Yeah. Yeah. If he's awake, he usually looks at me and comes toward me. He's really likes to get out of there. Yeah, he's asleep. He's still just laying there. I can't wait to get that rat out of that 29 and get it all cleaned up good for this guy and get him in there, get it on its end so he can climb up, get him some branches to get up in the top, and a birdhouse. I think this is as close to 50% empty as it's going to be.
Oh, you guys.
It's still good though. You know, there's a lot of rubbish, but every once in a while there's a perler in there.
Oh, the jokes.
Yes. It's the size of my harmonica I found yesterday.
Oh, wow.
It's
Little
huge.
guy. Where'd you find that?
Just in a bucket of, actually it was in a small container that had a coloured pencil and some old paintbrushes. Been up on top of the clothes dryer for probably 2 years or more. And I
And a harmonica.
I decided it was time to start pulling rubbish off the top of things that have been sitting there for years.
Well, it is too quiet tonight. Should we just end the stream, do you think? Or should we go another half an hour? See if someone comes up with a good subject.
I can come up with some subjects. I just don't want to get you demonetized.
Well, I think if that was going to happen, I would have done it a long time ago.
I did a whole bunch yesterday of attaching window ferns to pieces of wood in the big tank. And got up this morning to find that not all of them stuck.
Oh, that sucks.
I'll have to redo them and push them in harder this time.
Did you use a little bit of fishing line to get them started?
No, because they're old, really old bits of driftwood with some decent cracks and stuff in. So just got to be a bit tougher and push them further into the cracks, I think.
Ah, okay.
G'day, Patty.
Oh, Patty, hello.
What's up, Patty? Uh-oh. There it is. Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's become too cold today to be putting my arms in fish tanks. So the Windelov can wait until tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day.
Yeah. Oh, do you have a heater in the tank, or are you just going with the room temperature on it?
I did, when I first started the 6 foot up, I did have a heater in it, but I took it out when I wired it all up properly the other day. Didn't need it really. It was warm those days. Now it's cold again, so that could be detrimental, but we'll see. Yeah, I think I just saw one of the, yes, I do see one of the little bristlenose that I put in there the other day. So that's handy to know that they're still alive in this temperature. They're pretty hardy. They can handle some low temps.
Oh, Patty projecting there again. We talk about Bob's worm.
Okay, guys, it's too quiet.
Sure is. And it's chilly.
Well, you've been going an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Well, an hour and a half. I've been going about an hour and a half. And haven't talked about anything.
Nope. There's worm. What kept you, worm? Oh. What kept you?
Yeah, All Things Fish is still going. He's got 22 as well, so not a huge crowd, but you know.
Anyone doing anything for Halloween? I never do anything for Halloween since my kids grew up.
It's my oldest son's birthday, so.
Oh yeah, my youngest birthday is the 29th, so pretty close. She was actually due on Halloween, but she was born on the 29th.
Patty didn't want to talk about you. You may know Patty. We used to get trick-or-treaters on this street, but all the kids that lived here when I moved here 20-something years ago have all grown up and moved, and it's, well, there are some teenagers now, but there's nothing going on down here like that.
Yeah, it used to be. I mean, it's a lot different than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we would like grab pillowcases
and go out trick-or-treating with pillowcases. And when they got too heavy, we'd go home and dump them and then head out again.
Hmm.
And now it's like nobody goes trick-or-treat. They just take their kids to like the best neighborhoods or to parties, and that's it.
I'm going to send you those pictures of the little Jack Russells. You can't see them that well, but you can see their faces.
Oh, yeah, I want to see them. They are cute dogs, and I really like them, like I say, but they're just too high energy for me now.
These guys are really little. I mean, to be 6 months old or to be full grown. Let's see.
Tigger has no friends because he plays with poo.
That's actually a good one.
It is good. I like that one. The dog that's looking at him is Jessie. She's one of our. Well, she's new, but she's a resident dog. So I took her out like to meet them and see how they acted and what she thought about them. They passed the sniff test apparently.
They're little.
Yeah.
Little.
They're going to be little doggies. Stay little.
Oh, look at their faces.
Oh, is it showing you another picture?
Yeah. It didn't go. It didn't show up. There.
There should be a couple of them. Yeah, there you go. They're really light colored, lighter than Jessie.
Yeah.
That one, that one it showed you was like the TikTok I was talking about, where the little snake crawled over my hand and saw himself on the camera and then turned around and crawled back. Scared himself, I think. All the mice are asleep in both condos except one single mouse is moving around. I was going to top off their food, but I'm not going to wake them up. No way.
I'm still looking to the punchline, Paddy. I found a lost dog on my way home from work Saturday evening. Found the owner the next day on Lost Pets on Facebook. It was great. I don't get it. What kind of dad joke's that?
Pursuit. I like that one, the child psychologist.
Yes, that was a good one too.
The wind is picking up outside. But you guys probably can't hear it. I got noise canceling stuff on.
Certainly it picked up here. Actually, as I say that, then it stops. But yes, I'm sure people have seen what it's been doing to my hair all stream.
Have you thought about getting out of that godforsaken state yet? I probably would if I could afford to move, but I can't afford to move, so.
There's some things good about Wyoming. I kind of like the lack of people. It's kind of nice to be able to get on the road and go like for a long, long ways without even seeing a house or anything. The bad thing is Laramie itself is like, I really hate Laramie. Laramie is not a nice place.
And that's the main town you're closest to, yeah?
Yeah, that's the town that I live in. Well, right outside of town.
How far is it to Cheyenne from there, or however you say it?
About Cheyenne's about 45 minutes from here. It's the next town to the heading east. But like I say, Laramie kind of stinks. I know, I don't think you were in for the conversation I had the other day about Laramie, but Laramie is like, well, a few years ago, there was a real famous case on national news where this kid was found. He disappeared from college, and he was a gay kid, and he was found like strung up on a barbed wire fence outside of town dead. And the reason he was killed was entirely because he was gay. And it became the start of the whole movement for hate crimes and that type of stuff. I mean, it was a really famous case, and that was here in Laramie. That's Laramie. Yeah. And right now they've got a trans girl that is having trouble in college because they put her in a dorm with a couple other girls who are being really awful to her. And of course, the conservative news here has turned it around to where she's the aggressor. But yeah, it's like really bad. And that's on the national news now too. So Laramie is not the best town to live in. We'll just put it that way. It's a college town, but it's very ultra conservative. And I also have to say, and this is the honest God truth, Laramie has like one of the worst police departments of any place I've ever lived. They're really bad. So really bad. I had a gun drawn on me one night. Did I tell you about that?
By a cop.
By a cop, yes.
Damn.
My daughter called me up and asked me, she was living in her own apartment, but she was working the closing shift. She was a closing shift manager at the McDonald's about a mile down the road from here. And she asked me if I could please give her a ride home to her apartment because the roads were just nothing but packed snow and ice. And she was getting off like at 2 a.m. So, and she didn't have a car yet. So I told her, yeah, I'd come get her. So I pulled up in front of the McDonald's. And I pulled up fairly close to the doors where I knew she'd be coming out because, you know, it was like really, really slick and I didn't want her falling on her ass. So I was sitting there with the truck running and the lights on and stuff. And I glanced over at the road going by McDonald's and I saw a sheriff's truck. And I saw him tap on his brakes and I thought, he's going to pull in and see what I'm doing. No big deal, you know, for my daughter. So I got out I turned my radio off because I was listening to music, and I got out and I unrolled my window and I got out my driver's license. And I'm just like watching in the rearview mirror, and sure enough, he turned into the parking lot, but he didn't turn his flashers on. In fact, he turned his headlights off, and he pulled up behind me with his truck totally dark. And I'm watching in the side view mirror, and I see him getting out of his truck, and he's talking to the radio on his collar. And he fucking draws his gun and goes and squats at my back bumper with his gun drawn. And I'm sitting there, I got my hands on the steering wheel, and I'm like, oh shit. You know? I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Hurry up, Megan, get out here now. You know? And he squatted at the back of my truck for a while, and then the two kids that were working with my daughter came out, and they kind of like stepped out, and they looked at him, and they just kind of froze, you know, staring at him. And then my daughter came out, and she had her back to him, and she was like locking up, you know, locking all the locks on the doors, closing up. And she turned around and froze, and he looked up at her, and he said, and he pointed at the truck, and he says, "Is he drunk?" And she says, "What? No, that's my mom." And he just got in his truck and drove off. Never even came up to the window or anything else. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? You know? I mean, seriously, what the fuck was that?
G'day, Shoot. Yeah, that's pretty wild, especially if his main suspicion was alcohol.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I expected him to come up to the window and ask me what I was doing there. And instead he fucking gets out and draws his gun. And I was like, I was frozen because, like, what do you do? Do I stick my hands out the window and say, hey, you know, I'm just an old lady? I mean, I didn't know what to do. But yeah, the Laramie Police Department, I do not have a lot of respect for them. And then the other thing, they've been on national news a couple of times. One time was because this kid that used to come in the store I worked at all the time, he had schizophrenia. And like at the beginning of the month, he'd be fine. But by the end of the month, he was like extremely paranoid, and like he was like talking to somebody that wasn't there. Like he'd open up the door for his invisible friend and stuff and hold it open. But he was pulled over by the police, by a cop in town, for driving 5 miles under the speed limit. And it was right by his apartment. So he pulled into the parking lot of his apartment and got out and started running for his apartment. And the cop shot him 4 times in the back and killed him.
Oh, right.
And this cop was on a list that's the most dangerous police officers in the United States. He was on the list before this happened as being number 1, most likely to kill somebody again, because he had been working in Las Vegas, and he killed 2 people down there. And then they had to let him go because he had pulled over somebody, and somebody was happened to be standing in the yard with a camera, so they were filming him when he pulled over a car. And he went on video up into the yard and beat the crap out of the guy that was holding the camera. And it was all caught on video, and the video went viral. So the Vegas Police Department fired him, and Laramie hired him. So there you go. And then he killed somebody here. And being as how he was actually raised here, and his father is a state trooper, and his parents own the ski resort outside of town, and his sister owns a Wyoming travel magazine. You know how far the investigation into him went. Like he was put on desk duty for like 2 weeks, and then he's back out on the streets again.
Yeah, like Coro said, 3 days paid leave and a union pension.
Yep, that's it. So that's Laramie. And then the other thing that happened recently in Laramie, I think it was last year, the college students had a protest going for something. And they were told to stay on the sidewalk, so they were all marching down the sidewalk down Main Street, holding their signs and stuff. And the cops picked out one person that they pulled out of the students and put in the back of their cop car to arrest, which just so happened to be the only black student in the whole crowd, if you could believe that. And then everybody in the crowd got a little bit upset, so they took off in a hurry and ran over one of the other kids.
Shit.
So that was on the national news. So, yeah, sorry to be a downer, but I don't respect the Laramie Police Department much at all. I'm sorry, but I don't.
What's the
Lucky you
college
get
there?
lucky you get really shitty weather as well.
Yeah.
So you get other things to be on the news about.
But anyway, yeah. And then also there's the fact that when I worked from 2 to 11, and going home at 11 o'clock, I would get pulled over at least 3 nights a week. And they'd just pull me over and check my license and tell me to have a nice night. It's like, God damn it. I mean, every time I saw a cop car, I knew I was going to get pulled over because they just did that. So, yeah. That didn't really endear me to them either.
What college is there?
The Wyoming State University. No, not all cops are no good. Actually, where I worked at the convenience store, there was a half a dozen or so that came in almost every night that I worked, and I always had a good time visiting with them, and I liked them. But then there's some bad ones too. So there you go.
Oh, that was a different town too.
One of my sons had a local police officer draw his gun on him as well, and I think they were just out of high school. I'm pretty sure it was when they just finished high school, and we had a hospital in town which closed down, and my son and a few of his mates decided to go and break into the hospital and do some skylarking in the hospital. And yeah, then 2 cops came in with their guns drawn and did the whole get down on the ground, face down on the ground, and it was a really full-on situation. There was a girl in the group with them that she ran off and hid in some room. But yeah, they had to bring her out as well to say that she was there, and she was completely freaking out because they had guns drawn and stuff. And it was a little bit of overkill for a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That was my reptile enclosure building song.
But yeah, Wyoming in general is a very red state and very conservative and rednecks and all that stuff. But Laramie in particular is really bad. Laramie is really bad. And you wouldn't think it would be being a college town, but it is.
Can you hear the sirens?
Yeah.
It's wild that there's a bushfire all the way over there, and there's still a fire truck left in town to probably come to a false alarm. I keep getting them. There's a school, a Catholic school just over the way, and I'm pretty sure they've got a dodgy fire alarm because it's quite frequently of late that fire trucks are turning up, and that sounds like where they're stopping. It's two trucks have turned up now. Why aren't they over at the bushfire instead of investigating false alarms?
I think I might have upset a few people in chat. But it's just the way it is here. I mean, it's just the way it is. And I know when I fell down that one time, I couldn't come on. And then
everybody was all upset because I didn't show up for the stream, and they ended up calling the cops here in town for a wellness check. That's why I didn't really like that very well, because I don't like the cops here in town. There was a guy 2 houses down from me that had cancer, and his sister hadn't heard from him for a few days, so she called the cops for a wellness check. And I looked out the window, and they had sent the SWAT team. I mean, guys, they parked on the other side of my house and were sneaking, half squatting through my yard with big guns. And that was for a wellness check, guys. A
Right.
wellness check. Nice, huh? That might have been a little bit of overkill, do you think?
I told her not to do that. Drama.
Yeah, I think they've been doing a fair bit of that helicopter stuff, because when I got up this morning, there was lots of helicopter noise going on. Spoke to the devil, I hear one now.
Yeah, that was the thing. Grasshopper, they figured he might be suicidal because he had cancer really bad and was dying. So, yeah, they decided instead of going and knocking on his door, they would, like, do the whole SWAT team thing on him. I hear Floyd.
Yeah, he flew back in here. I don't know. Oh, he's over there by the desk. Come here. Oh, as soon as we started talking about him, he went back out. Floyd, you're hurting our feelings, buddy.
Oh, my gosh, when I lived in Bellflower in Los Angeles, Bellflower isn't exactly in the best area of Los Angeles. And every single night you could step outside and have a cigarette and listen to the helicopters and watch the spotlighting the ground. You know, there are the police helicopters with the big spotlights. Every single night you could stand there and watch them.
Yay. You better come on in here and say goodnight to Pam. Come on.
Hey, Floyd. Hello.
Come
Hi
on.
there.
Oh my God, he's looking sawed off the hang on back on the aquarium. Come on, you're gonna fall in there. Come on. Come here. Come on. Yeah, come on. Do you hear him say no?
Did he say no?
He did. He's learned no. Come on.
Uh-oh. That's as bad as when a 2-year-old learns to say no.
Come on, boy. Come here. Come on. Hurry. Up to the fridge. Okay.
Oh, the tar pits in LA are really cool. Have you ever heard about the tar pits, Blacky?
Yeah, La Brea.
Yeah, in the middle of LA. Like houses everywhere. It's LA, right? Millions and millions of people. And there's tar pits right in the middle of it. And there's still bubbling. You can still see areas where the ground has bubbling tar coming up.
How much area do they cover?
I am not sure.
Like, is it acres and acres, or is it?
No, I'd say a couple blocks. There's one big area in the front that's like a great big tar pool that they've got a statue of a mammoth in. And then next to it, then they've got statues scattered here and there in a small museum full of bones that they've, pulled out of the fossils that they pulled out. And right next to that is a art museum.
And when we went over to the art museum, some of the bushes right next to the art museum, like at the foundation, had tar bubbling away and the bushes had died. So it was kind of cool. The museum is really cool. It had like one whole wall that was nothing but old wolves that had fallen in because like an animal would get stuck in the tar pits and they'd jump on top of it and eat their fill, and then they couldn't get out, so they'd die. But there was a lot of animals that I had never seen before. Like they had some buffalo that had horns on them, like a longhorn bull. I mean, just these massive horns on these buffalo coming straight out. And they had, I didn't realize that here in California and North America, we had camels and lions. I didn't realize we're there.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know, they had a lot of really cool animals. And it's really cool to go see it. But it's kind of like, it shows you that civilization can be beaten because the tar pits were still there and still bubbling hot tar in the middle of massive civilization. You know what I mean?
Mm. G'day, Mike. Got a couple of people double teaming the ATF and this stream.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Yeah, 20 acres, Huawei says La Brea covers.
Oh, it is bigger than that then. I wasn't sure how big it was. I guess, like I say, I went to the museum, and then they have a couple areas that they were still digging in that you could like walk down some steps and where there was a barred off area and you could lean over and watch where they were digging. It was pretty cool. It was definitely worth stopping at. Yeah, Centralia, Pennsylvania. Yep. That's from an old mine caught fire underneath the town, and they ended up having to evacuate the town because the whole ground underneath of it is burning. And they were having like pits cave in and stuff, you know. So they ended up evacuating the whole town, and it's still burning.
Yeah, Kragos, the roads up here are crap. Terrible. They've redone a couple of the main bits in town, but for the most part, it is all gate tracks out in the hills and around town. They just patch them up, and then the next big rain, you get the potholes are empty again. No. I believe lots of people, they claim their mechanics bills from the council, like they try and get the council to pay for their shock absorber damage and stuff like that for the amount of potholes and stuff like that. It's humorous to go for a drive with any of my sons in their lowered cars around town because they have to go really slow and drive around all the potholes and stuff. Then get out to the freeway, and then they can open it up where there's no holes. Yeah, that's right. We had probably a year and a half, 2 years ago now, there was someone was getting around town, and whenever there was a pothole that got too big, they'd put a pot plant in it.
Oh.
Just to be funny, I guess, but also they now get in the habit of when there's a nasty one, they'll like spray paint nice designs around it to alert people that there's a big hole there.
That's good because you can really tear up a car with a bad pothole. Oh, good grief. What is wrong with you?
I thought that was the parrot.
No, that was my dog.
Yeah, so true, Craig. Our car needs to be roadworthy, but our roads aren't car worthy. I like that.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's how it started, Coro. I think people were actually painting dicks around the holes, but then, some slightly more artistic person decided to make them a little bit prettier than just penises.
I know when I lived in Texas, it was a thing down there for if you found like a dead armadillo that had gotten hit by a car, people would like put them in the middle of the road and turn them upside down and prop up a Budweiser bottle with them. That was like the thing. I'd see it all over the place. Because people have such a sick sense of humor, Blacky. Hey, BJ.
And it's funny how contagious those kind of things are. G'day, PJ.
I used to have a roadkill cookbook, and it had one of the recipes I remember was armadillo on the half shell.
BJ, did anything ever become of that snake you're talking about?
I wish I still had my roadkill cookbook because it had some good recipes. The only ones I really remember is armadillo on the half shell and Dotson duck. Yep, usually not too hard to find a beer bottle near an armadillo when walking down the road. Yep, that's it.
We got that extra half hour in.
Oh, yeah. We should probably go ahead and call it a night. We've been streaming for a couple hours. A couple hours is good, and it's kind of a quiet night, so I think it would be a good night to go ahead and end now, and that'll save me some time for later on in the week.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. Thank you, Daniel, and good night, everybody. And thank you, Kat, and thank you, Grasshopper, and thank you, everybody on the replay team. And thanks, Bob and Blacky.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
How soon are we going to start seeing Blacky streaming again now?
I don't know yet.
Don't
If
know
you've
yet.
got anyone's got ideas of things that they want to hear myself and Corvus and Z-Beam talk about, feel free to email me ideas. G'day, Sandy. Hi and bye, I guess. I'm sure everyone knows my email by now. You got something that you want to hear us ramble on nonsensically about, please do.
Okay. Well, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Pam. Generation